G7 Hiroshima Summit is over. Speaking of Hiroshima, everyone knows the first atomic bomb in history was dropped on the city 78 years ago. In this 21st century, still many people believe the atomic bomb was illegal according to the international law. However, America had every reason to bombard Hiroshima indiscriminately. Reason 1. Hiroshima had countless small and medium-sized military factories in the city. In July 1944, Japan lost Saipan to the Allied, and male workers were all sent to the war front to defend Japan, and high school girls filled the gap in such military factories. In March 1945, Japan lost Iwo Jima volcano, and Japanese government decided to suspend education for middle schools and above, to mobilize them to military factories also. In June 1945, Japan lost Okinawa, and women between 17 and 40 were made militia together with remaining men between 15 and 60. These age groups consisted 46% of all Japanese population. These militias, together with military factory school workers, consisted 50% of 140,000 atomic bomb casualties in Hiroshima. These girls were training to shoot rifles and machine guns to kill American GIs and Allied soldiers in the Battle of Japanese mainland, which was due only in 3 months then. Kill them before they kill you. That is the name of the game in a war, which Japan started by Pearl Harbor. Reason 2. There were Mitsubishi Machines and Mitsubishi Shipyard in the south. Mitsubishi Machines was building engines for Mitsubishi Shipyard, and the shipyard was building warships for Imperial Japanese Navy. In order to avoid B-29 air raids, Mitsubishi Shipyard dug mountainside and started to build Kai-10 suicide-manned torpedoes in Sarayama Tunnel Factory and Ebayama Tunnel Factory. Japan had given up building large warships in 1945 and was concentrating in building suicide weapons in preparation for the Battle of Japanese mainland only 3 months ahead. Atomic bomb damage to Mitsubishi Machines and Mitsubishi Shipyard was minimal, and even no damage to Sarayama and Ebayama tunnel factories, but part suppliers in atomic bombed 3-kilometer radius area were all destroyed, and they could not continue production till the end of war. Reason 3. There were Imperial Japanese Army weapon depot, clothes depot, and food depot in the east of Hiroshima city. Hiroshima was a logistic base for Japanese invasion of China and Southeast Asia. When Imperial Japanese Army Transport Command assembled convoys such as 5 transports and 2 destroyers as guards, war supplies from these 3 depots were moved to the Army port to load such transports and were delivered to the war front. Although damage to these 3 depots were negligible, but were out of operation as suppliers were all destroyed by the atomic bomb. Reason 4. Imperial Japanese Army 5th Division of 20,000 soldiers were garrisoned in Hiroshima to defend the city and its suburbs. The 5th Division was responsible for Babar Island massacre of 400 villagers and poisoning of Australian POWs by potassium cyanide gas during the war. Other 5th Division installations were Shooting Range, Telecommunication Regiment, Engineering Battalion, Transport Battalion, Powder Magazine, Field Gun Regiment, Conscription Hall, the 5th Division Headquarters, Infantry Regiment, Armory, Conscription Hall, Military Police Unit, Military Training Field West, Conscription Hall, Military Training Field East. Army installations and military factories provided more than enough bombing targets. Reason 5. There was Imperial Japanese Second General Army to command the western half of Japan during the anticipated Battle of Japanese mainland. As Japan is a long island chain, Japanese leaders feared communication between East and West might be difficult during the Battle of Japanese mainland, and set this Second General Army in Hiroshima to command the western half of Japan, while the First General Army was set in Tokyo to command the eastern half. Actually, Americans and Allies were scheduled to invade western Kyushu Island, which was under the Second General Army, in November 1945. The atomic bomb rightly destroyed this Second General Army to pave the way for the invasion of Kyushu Island in due course. Reason 6. Hiroshima City was defended by 6 regiments of anti-aircraft guns and 9 searchlight units. Hiroshima City's center airspace was covered by 32-fold of anti-aircraft gun umbrellas. The reason why those anti-aircraft guns did not shoot even a single shot at the B-29 Enola Gay was that they had been told to conserve shells for the anticipated Battle of Japanese mainland. As for the searchlights, they help anti-aircraft guns aim their guns at the enemy during the night. Hiroshima was a formidable fortress and a Gibraltar in the Far East, and of course, it was a legitimate military target. Though it is an unnecessary addition, but Japanese Wikipedia explains about the legitimacy of indiscriminate bombardments as follows. This is Japanese Wikipedia, and it explains, if there was an army to defend the area against the invading enemy, the area is considered as a defended area, and international law allows the invading enemy to bombard the area indiscriminately. This is called an indiscriminate bombardment, as it does not distinguish civilian houses from militarily used buildings. However, Hague War regulations stipulate that the invading enemy must take every possible means to save buildings used for religious, art, academic, welfare purpose, or historical assets, hospitals, clinic for the sick or wounded, unless they are militarily used at the same time. In order for the invading enemy to know them, the defender must place signs and/or emblems on such buildings and inform the invading enemy to that effect in advance. However, Japan did not inform America of whereabouts of historical assets, hospitals, etc. in advance. Therefore, B-29s were not obliged to make efforts to avoid bombing such buildings in the first place.